Alright, this is Daily Chart of BBRY. I have an important video here to talk about what will it take for this stock to become a really great long-term investment. And what I'm going to present to you are true facts. And there isn't going to be anyone that will tell you with this kind of clarity and proven facts, and something to really think about. There is plenty of time to become a good long-term investor in this stock. But believe me when I'm going to warn here. Now I want to document this video is that if it doesn't confirm the way I say, and I'll know what it was. If it doesn't confirm the way I say it will, or needs to be, this stock may never be a good long-term investment, and there's a lot of risk right now. And even though it might appear that it has all this opportunity, in the technology world that changes and with huge competitors, even though it makes common sense that BlackBerry, should trade a lot higher, it still has to be voted by the market. I mean, people have been bullish BlackBerry since 2012, and they just watch the stock go lower. So let's go some facts. I want to isolate a particular day, and this is back in 2013. And right here, this day here, this stock did something very negative and has caused damage to the stock since then. Believe it or not, since the end of January. Because this stock, what happened is we had this great shift. There was a lot of hope, and this stock was a really great investment, by the way, short-term, long-term. Look at this. It broke out of a pattern in the $7 area, and we had a high of 18. But once the facts came out about this company and its problems, the market sold this heavily. And this day caused massive damage and its own chop zone in 2013. And since that day, believe it or not, the stock has still not been able to recover. On top of that, you have a pattern, a triangular pattern that could break one way to the other, and it chose this way. I was telling people back on the earnings, which this was the earnings back there, this day here, or before earnings. But what happened was, when earnings came out, this thing dropped hard. And the volume, of course, wasn't even as heavy as this bar here. So you have two negative bars that if you add up, are larger than any positive two bars that you would add up that have meaningful movements, okay, in BlackBerry. And so this is why I can tell you with authority, I can assure you one thing, that if BlackBerry doesn't confirm the proper way and trade back at least into the $13 area, that this stock here is not a safe long-term investment until it trades back into the $13 zone. So if I was looking to be a long-term, now this has been a good day trading stock. It was a good investment. Someone who bought at 7. I mean, this thing doubled, but since then it hasn't been a good investment. In fact, it's still lower from those earnings. The fact of the matter is, before the earnings, the stock was trading in the $14 area, and we're still much lower. And this is years after the fact. This is how monumental this day is, and I isolated it. This 3-day bar is. And I isolated it as an illustration purpose. And I've also shown negative pattern breakdown that was also in the making of multiple months here. You saw all these months was a disaster. This stock was reeling from this past. So let me ask you something. Common sense here, people. A lot of hypesters out there don't tell you this, but when it comes to technical analysis, there isn't anybody that's going to look at things as deeply as what I'm showing you right now. And I use a lot of tools. There's a lot of ways to look at stock charts, but there's nothing that will prove to you like what I've said. No one will be able to explain to you this unless they copy me or what I've just said. Nobody. That's why I know this stock can't go anywhere until it proves that number. It tried and it failed. Look at these bars. Look at the wicks. That's telling you something. They pulled right away. Now, if this starts trading in the 13, I was looking to go long and it wouldn't follow through. It falls. I told people how important it is for it to break forward. It didn't, and it fell apart. I've called false moves in BlackBerry so many times that if I would have went short instead of trying to go long the stock, I think I would have this stock would have to go to $30. That's how many times this thing's fallen from false moves. It's been just crazy. So to me, it's a day trading guessing stock at the moment. You can make some nice little moves here and there. It's getting worse now for that right now, but until we have a meaningful price move into the key area, this is why I'm making this video. This stock can remain in this chop zone and worse, go lower. This is the warning I have. So if you want to be along, you want to put some serious money to work, I wouldn't do it right now. There are plenty of other stocks that are better. And why do you want to listen to me? Well, I'm going to talk about another company, okay? And I made a video, okay? And it's really important to understand what I'm going to say in this next thing. You may not like the company, and it's not about that. It's about the facts. And I wanted you to understand what I'm going to say here. I'm going to bring it up here. It's Apple, AAPL. And here's this wedge. Of course, we broke to the upside. But let me tell you something. Back in these days here, when Apple was in, I was bearish this company. I had lost faith in this company. There were some long trades, but it wasn't. I didn't have that same ferocity in it. What changed everything for me? And I made money right away. And I made a video on the earnings that this was okay. This is a 3-day bar, but of course, the earnings day would be in that area anyway, the lower area, the 80 area. You had this huge gap up, right? And believe me when I tell you, people, that when Apple was trading up here, there were people, and even a lot of pros, calling this would come down and fill the gap. There were a lot of negative people. They didn't know. None of them stated what I said when I made a video, that this would go to 130. I said this was taking a monumental shift. And this has, why am I talking about Apple? Because it's just the same like BlackBerry here. Believe me, the difference is that BlackBerry needs to create the monumental shift that I'm talking about. And it cannot do so without the right volume in this case. Like I was showing in those charts. I mean, look, I was correct about this. And I'm making this video because I'm going to play if BlackBerry does not confirm, or when BlackBerry confirms my numbers, and when I confirm it, I want to see how well it does. Can BlackBerry go to 20, 25, 30, but not until it can confirm something. Those numbers that I'm talking about. This is why this video is the truth, is the facts. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, and no, even I don't sugarcoat Apple either. I have charts on Apple saying that it's in a chop zone and it's not the best investment right now. What in the end, the company, all that matters is you're making money, not the company. You can like the company, you can like the product, but if it's not paying you any money, what's the point in being in it? And right now, it's a guessing game here. You can see that in the charts here. It's a guessing game. But this is not a guess. This is a statistical fact here, shown in the way I'm looking at it, which is considered advanced analysis. There's nobody that will have analyzed and tell you the way I'm telling you. In fact, I've talked about this day before, but people forget. But it's very clear, this day here, I'm isolating it because it's exactly what it did. And there's a lot of pop. There's a lot of pressure. There was a monumental shift in BlackBerry here on this day that caused it to go even lower. They fought for it, boom, boom, boom. But then when the earnings came out, this stock had a choice to go up or explode to the downside. But it had a different CEO at the time, and they couldn't get this to go. But there were people going crazy along. The technicals were mixed. And when we had this negative day, I talked about the volume and this had to clear 50. And you know what? Some people didn't listen to me, only to watch their stock crumble to the ground. I was correct again. Correct again. And there isn't a long on the board that can make these statements. Because if someone wanted to challenge what I'm just saying in this video, and you want to put $1 million on it, or you want to go into the broke house, you would go broke, because I have so many documented videos of me saying things on BlackBerry. Everything I'm telling you is the truth. This is why you want to listen to me. And I'm an expert, breakout expert, and I know what to look for real moves in stocks. And this stock here is a guessing game stock. There doesn't matter how you want to technically analyze it. There's a huge damage happened over here. Okay, and until it can reverse that damage, that means when you start trading in the $13 area properly, and I will know and be able to update the people on this, the stock here can be a huge winner, but not until that zone, because the market will then, that would be a shift in my opinion. In my opinion, looking at these charts, looking at the damage over here, looking at the history of the year, looking how the earnings of this stock did on the earnings over here, okay, this stock can go higher and go low. It can do whatever it wants now. What I'm saying is that it's so important for this stock to confirm the right way with the right kind of volume, trade back in the $13 area. And if it does that, this stock then could become a huge winning stock. I mean, can it go back to 26, 20? Sure it could. But right now, there is no proof of that. That's a guess. It doesn't matter what the news, all the line, it still has to fruition. Even John Chenham said it was a 50-50 chance. And you're up against, and in the Internet of Things, if you look at the technology and you have the big companies, everybody's fighting. You're going up against Microsoft, you're going up against Linux, you're going up against Apple, you're going up against big giants with money, big deep pocketbooks. You know, Apple could buy BlackBerry 5 times over if it wants to. 5 times over and still have billions and billions of dollars left over. Believe me, people. And that company is totally changed. But doesn't mean, see, the beautiful thing about this, doesn't matter how successful Apple can be. I mean, it's successful, it's been a winner, but what matters is that this stock here has to be able to confirm. And I've talked about Apple, and it confirmed, and I made videos. And you want to know something? It did what I said. That's why you want to listen to me. And it did what I said in a monumental way. And there is nobody on StockTwits that's made a video, that's made predictions, that has the facts. And I spent just like this video. I spent a lot of time on that. I talked 15 minutes with all facts and showing charts and this and that. And it did what I said it did. Because I looked at the charts, the volume, the tech, the fun, everything. And BlackBerry, I know the fun, I know about all this good news, but the market hasn't perceived it as anything. It's confused. Okay, and everybody who's guessing, they've been wrong all along. Only I've told the truth and continue to tell the truth on BlackBerry. That's why you want to follow me for more great advice. If you listen this long in this video, you want to become a chart witness follower. I call it all kinds of winning trades. For a reason, I identify what's in favor. This stock is not in favor. This is a guessing game now. Every time I've made some recommendations, this stock has failed my recommendations. Because volume is so important in this stock, especially what I explained now, that it's your ally. Just a price movement alone means one thing: this stock is going to keep playing games. And I've stated this for months and months and months. And meanwhile, you have a lot of cheerleaders on the BlackBerry board giving false information. Only I've told the truth and the facts, and I'm the good guy. Why should I sugarcoat where this can go? I was looking for this. I think this. I've made many charts stating its potential, but if it can confirm, but it keeps failing to confirm. And so that earnings day and the action of it became a very. I wanted to show this charts, this particular day, and check out my other chart, my other video on BlackBerry. As there's some things I may not have said in this video, but this video here, I'm very confident to say that if this stock trades, that if people want to invest in BlackBerry now, you can lose money. It can go lower. But if we wait for the right time, you can get in here, this stock cheap, which is $13 a share. It's still cheap. 13, you know what? 13, 14, 15, doesn't matter. In anything under 16, I consider, if it was cheap over here, why not why not back again in that area? But this time it breaks out properly. And I'm not saying you have to pay that much, but what I'm saying is that $13, waiting for a real strong signal in the $13 and letting it trade in that area, where the odds are going to be in your favor to be able to make large sums of money going into the stock long term, is better than guessing now. Because just like Apple, until Apple made that monumental shift, that stock was going chopping and going lower. And once it made that shift, it kept on rising higher and higher and higher against all. A lot of people were negative on that stock. But the technicals were so powerful. The fundamentals were so powerful. And it's still acting amazingly well after all. And every earnings it goes higher and higher and higher. So let me tell you, trust me when I tell you, BlackBerry can be a huge winning stock for you, but you don't need to guess. You don't need to jump in now. There are better companies that will make you. Anybody who's a long-term investor hasn't made much money or is still losing money in this. I can tell you that. The majority of the BlackBerry longs, unless you're a day trader, you've been losing money. And Power Trigger Trade is telling you how to reverse that. If you fail to wait for that key $13 area, you're asking for massive, massive, massive losses, because it's very possible. But if we wait for the proof, the power, you're putting the odds in your favor to make massive amounts of money with proof and power. Because believe me, trading back in the 13 area will be a monumental shift. A monumental shift in BlackBerry based on what I've explained here. And what I've explained to you is a negative breakout pattern that of the 2013 that has caused massive. This stock is still reeling. You can see this. Look, I'm going to put this here. I'm going to show this here. Okay? Can you see any bar trying to get above 13? And how long from that breakout day here? Here's a strong breakout with heavy volume. And that down was 109. Has there been volume that's come close, that's been able to repierce this line? No. And until that happens, there's where the monumental shift is, right here, 13. If that doesn't happen, trust me, this stock can keep chopping for the next 2, 3, 4 years, or go nowhere, go lower. Because what they want is not what you want for this stock to become really profitable is not some takeover. A buyout. That's that. You know what the buyout is? That's a cop out. And that stock will only go to wherever the price is of the buyout. If this stock goes up because of a buyout rumor, that's not what you want. If this stock can become a huge winner where it can go $30 a share, I'll tell you right now, it has to go up there not because of buyout rumors. It has to go up there because of all the plans they put forward, because I see the potential for this to go a lot higher. There's room for BlackBerry. Forget about this. This BlackBerry has no. You can't compare BlackBerry to Apple. That's the stupidest game to play. Or to Microsoft. These are different companies. It doesn't matter. What matters is BlackBerry they become very profitable, and can they make money? Can the stock go to $30 a share long term? Sure it can, but without the right kind of action and volume and reversal, there is no way. And I don't know about $30 a share, but can it get to 20? Can it get to 25, 26? Yeah, it can go even higher than that, but it doesn't matter until it starts that shift, monumental shift, just like I showed in Apple. That's not going to happen. Thanks for listening. Like the video.